Hey students, it's Nate. I wanted to give you some direction on your next writing assignment, the bad news message. So the bad news message has a few more steps than your previous message, the direct request message. Because in this method, we have to realize that the audience is not happy to receive the message. They're getting bad news. Oftentimes, this is you denying a client or a customer something that they want. You got to let them down gently and hopefully try to maintain some goodwill. So when we think about a bad news message, there's really kind of 5 steps that you want to follow for a bad news message. And for this second writing assignment, obviously you still want to have the 7 parts of a letter, and you also want to follow block format, everything left aligned, single spaced, with a space between paragraphs. So let's make sure we have those things. And I'm assuming you also have a draft letter pulled up and ready to go before you start reading these scenarios. So make sure you have a Word doc or a Google Doc, whatever you use, and have some of the parts of the letter already plugged in there, so you just kind of need to focus on the specific writing scenario. Okay, so for a bad news message, basically 5 different sections to these letters. The first thing you want to do is, in your opening paragraph, is have a buffer. A buffer is a neutral point of agreement that doesn't hint or deliver any bad news at all. The standard issue buffer that works for most situations when you're delivering bad news in a written message is a consideration buffer. A consideration buffer is something along the lines of, "Thank you for letting us know about your situation. We've reviewed your request and given it careful consideration." The person who is getting the bad news is obviously submitted a complaint or made a request. And the main thing they want to know is, did you even listen to my request? Did anybody hear me? They kind of want to be heard. So a consideration buffer, a buffer is a neutral point of agreement before you kind of get down to the brass tacks, delivering the bad news, is a way of doing that. Paragraph 1, deliver the buffer. Consideration buffer works for most situations. Paragraph 2, you want to talk about the reasons for the bad news. Again, you don't mention the bad news yet. You're just stating facts, and you're stating them neutrally without any blame of the customer or accusation of them doing something wrong. So perhaps you're telling a customer that you're not going to accept the custom fitted dress that they're returning at the dress shop because it obviously had been worn, and you will accept returns, but only on unused, unworn merchandise. We all know what it's like when someone tells us policy prohibits us from doing X, Y, and Z. It doesn't necessarily make us as a customer feel any better. So the reasons are just kind of stated neutrally. Thank you for letting us know about your situation regarding your dress. We've reviewed your request and given it careful consideration, paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, here at our clothing shop, we provide refunds on unused merchandise. So you're kind of hinting that because the dress has been worn, because there were perspiration marks on this dress, we cannot honor your request for a refund. You're not saying because you wore the dress. You're not saying that. You're just saying because there's perspiration stains on the dress. Could have been from you. Could have been from somebody else. Either way, somebody wore the dress. We can't honor a refund. So it's that fine line of kind of stating the reasons, but they're just neutral. They're not accusing or blaming the customer at all. Then typically it says part of the reason paragraph, so at the end of that paragraph 2, or if you had a lot of reasons, it could be 2 separate paragraphs. But at the end of the reason paragraph, you would state the bad news. You state it one time. You don't put it in all caps. You don't put it bold. Just like I was saying in that example, because of the perspiration stains on your dress, we cannot honor your request for a refund. That's it. That's all you got to say. Your next paragraph, so that's paragraphs 1 and 2, or 1, 2, and 3, and your next paragraph is alternate solutions. Alternate solutions are, can you throw the customer or the person who's receiving your bad news message some kind of bone, some kind of olive branch, so that you're softening the bad news a little bit. Any alternate solutions that you can offer. Now you want to be careful here as a business that you're not offering any alternate solutions that cost you money. Come into our shop and we will give you 10% off your next custom dress purchase. That's giving them a discount. Or come in and we will alter your dress for free. That's giving them some services. So think about alternate solutions that you can give you that don't cost you any money. Maybe you own maybe you're Apple and you're a customer service department and you get customer complaints all day long and you send these letters out all day long. And somebody sent you a request saying, hey, my phone stopped working. I want a new one. And in reviewing their purchase information, you realize that this phone is way beyond warranty. It's past the warranty period. So you would say something like, thank you for letting us know about your situation regarding your iPhone. Paragraph 1. Paragraph 2. Here at Apple, we value quality products. That's why we back all of our products with a 90-day guarantee. Because your product is out of warranty, we cannot honor your request for a refund. See, you're implying the bad news through the reasons, then delivering the bad news neutrally one time. The next paragraph in that scenario with the phone would be, we're enclosing a list of repair shops in your area who can assist you with repairing your phone. Right? So you're giving them something, but you're not, again, taking it on as a business to fix their problem or give them any money or a discount. Not your problem. Buffer, reasons, bad news is part of the reasons, new paragraph, alternate solutions, and then the closing paragraph in the bad news message is don't go away mad, just go away. Now that's not what you write, but that's the intent. You want them to digest the bad news and not be too upset about it. So in your bad news, you want kind of a positive close, no contact information. You don't want to, you wouldn't want to say like, it might be natural for you to think, if you have any other questions regarding this situation, please don't hesitate to contact me at blankety blank number. And then the customer is just going to contact you and you're going to start this whole cycle of delivering the bad news again. So with the bad news, you want them to digest the bad news and go away. So in a bad news message closing, you do not include your contact information. Positive close, if it was the phone situation, it'd be something along the lines of, we appreciate you letting us know. We appreciate your business with Apple. And we hope to do further business with you again. Sincerely, Nate Scharf, Customer Service Manager. There's no phone number, there's no email. So just a positive close and not soliciting any further communication. So to sum it up, my friends, for a bad news message, the structure is paragraph 1, buffer. Consideration buffer works for most situations. Paragraph 2, reasons, stated neutrally, no blame, no accusation. 3, at the end of the reason paragraph or paragraphs, you state the bad news one time, neutrally, no apology needed. You haven't done anything wrong. Paragraph 4, alternate solutions. What can you throw the customer's way that doesn't cost you as a business any money? Paragraph 5, positive close, everything's cool, don't provide any contact information. Okay, that's it. So 7 parts of the letter, block format, and that's the structure for the bad news message. Thanks for listening. Good luck.